here are some actual tips on how to get those people who are 2s to 3s and how to get the 3s to 4s, or how to get the 1s to 2. Well, there were no 1s, the 2s to 3s. So creating a research poster. There are 2 basic conventional ways that I would say 90% of people use to create posters. PowerPoint and PS. Oh my God, I don't even remember what that is. It's the Google one, right? Slides. Oh my God, I don't remember. Thank you. Somebody's helping me. Thank you for saving me. Photoshop. Thank you. Sorry. My bad. Clearly, I'm not going to be talking about Photoshop in this workshop. I'm only going to be talking about PowerPoint. So if you have Photoshop skills and you have Adobe, experience, then you can, by all means, go to town, use Photoshop. Most of us, I would say 90% of you don't have Photoshop experience, and so you're probably going to be using PowerPoint, which is what I'm going to be teaching you in the next couple slides. So all of you have probably used PowerPoint before, and I just don't know if you've done it on this level. So this is basic intro to PowerPoint. So if you've used PowerPoint before, I apologize. This probably is going to be reviewed. For anybody who hasn't used it, then hopefully this is helpful. So under the Design tab on PowerPoint, you click on Slide. Right here, the slide size. So that's the first thing you really need to worry about. You are creating a poster, and there are certain dimensions for that poster. It's going to be a 36 by 42 inch poster when we print it. And we will be physically printing the posters once you submit them. Because of the remote nature of the work, we haven't decided if we're just going to pay you, add money to your stipend so that you can pay for the poster out of your stipend, or if we're going to print the posters ourselves and then mail them to you. We haven't yet decided, but you will be getting a physical printed copy, just like the ones that you can, unroll and put up on the wall. Okay. So, here in the widescreen, you're going to have to put in the dimensions of your poster, right? So, you are going to be using 36 by 42, so not 13.33 by 7.5. You're going to be using 36 by 42. And so it's going to be, a very big poster. The font size, what we recommend on a poster that's going to be printed 36 width by 42 length, we're recommending font sizes of about 60 for your title. Okay, we're recommending font sizes. So in the affiliation, so the big title is 60, and then all the little stuff under is going to be smaller. So 1/10 the length of the poster. Sorry, the body text should be about 1/2 of the title font, so around 30 to 36 points, right? So half of the title should be 30 to 36 for these headers here, right? So results, methods, introduction, etc. Obviously, these are just recommendations. You can adjust the font size accordingly. So it's your poster, it's your baby. You have total creativity, liberty to create it however you want. These are just recommendations. You're gonna do what you want with it. I highly, highly recommend that you talk to your lab. Ask your daily lab supervisor, ask your faculty advisor. Some labs are pretty strict and they have a specific template that they want everybody who works in the lab to use. So if they have a template, half your job is done, right? You just use the template that they're providing you. So make sure you ask that. If they don't have a template, then you have to create something from scratch. Everybody in that lab, somebody in that lab has already created a poster and published it somewhere. So you can totally ask them for their template. They may or may not want to share it with you. That's up to them. But definitely recommend that you ask your lab for those suggestions. So for the first draft, really that's all you need to do is create your base, template of how you want it to look, create your color schemes, create your title, create your affiliations and your authors, and then set up your sections, okay? So for the first draft that's due July 10th, that's really all you need. By your first draft, so your second draft, which is due July 15th, poster workshop number 2, then you need to have your intro, your materials and methods, and hopefully so any preliminary data you might already have. So are there any questions on how to use PowerPoint to create your base template? Get out of here early. All right. So I forgot to say something actually, so I want to backtrack. Obviously, within the poster, then you are creating these sections, right? And so you just use a text box. You can design the text box as you know, whatever size you need for the content you're putting inside. And then in poster workshop number 2, we're actually going to talk in way more detail on how to start creating the figures and the data tables and the captions and all of that business. But for now, that's all we need to do is start the basics. So what I wanted to do now is actually show you the research journal. So this is the cover of the last 2 summers research journal. So as you see here, the 2018 one and then the 2019 cover. So as you can see, it's a pretty nice, nice journal. This is what the inside of the journal looks like. So each of you will get your own page if you choose to have your own poster. So the question that was asked earlier is, do you write one abstract if you work with a partner? It depends. My recommendation is if you both equally contributed the same stuff to the project, then yeah, you should both have one poster, one abstract. And what we'll do is we'll put 2 pictures here. So halfway through the page, we'll put the second person and their information, right? So as you can see here, this is Neha. She's an electrical engineering student. I think this was from last summer. So she's probably now a 3rd-year student. And there's her picture, there's her demographic information, her major, her year in school, her school. And then if you worked with a partner, your partner's face would be here and their information would be here at the bottom, right? So we would put 2 people, 2 people on one page and you would share the same abstract and the same poster. However, if you collaborated on one project, but each of you had a distinctly different role. So let's say one of you was coding the algorithm and the other person was running the MATLAB simulations, right? So somebody coded it and somebody else ran the simulations. Or somebody did the data analysis and somebody else did some other portion, right? Like let's say you're designing something. And one of you was the designer and the other one was the, you know, the person who ran the simulations or whatever. So if you feel like you had a distinctly different enough role, then I recommend you do your own poster and you do your own abstract, highlighting your key role within the bigger project, okay? But that's totally a decision between you, your partner, and your daily lab supervisor and your lab. I am not going to dictate to you whether you should have one poster, one abstract, and one page in the journal, okay? So hopefully that answered the question from earlier. If it didn't, then feel free to follow up with a follow-up question.